This is Maine reviewing the Purge TV show on USA, episode 2. Take What's Yours. A lot of people um, enjoy the Purge movies. I enjoy the Purge movies, and I saw that they were having this TV show. I thought it was cool. So I watched the first episode, and then it inspired me to go ahead and do a review on the second episode. With anything with the Purge, it just shows that where people could get to with just acting crazy and mental health. That you have a 12-hour span that you can just shoot and kill whoever you want and have no repercussions. But the type of things that go on during the Purge and how far people take things is crazy. So, the episode starts out where you have this mystery guy, where he's getting ready for the Purge. He's making sandwiches. He's loading up his guns, putting everything up into this van truck that he has, and he's listening to one of those Purge broadcasts about your right to purge and how you gonna purge and not feeling bad about purging and all that stuff, trying to justify going out and purge and killing people on this particular night. So he's loading up his truck. He's getting everything ready, and then he starts to pull off. Then it switches over to our first character that we meet, which is Jane. Jane works in some type of firm where she is attempting to make partner. So what she's doing is she's talking to the lady named Braca that she has hired to kill her boss David, which David is the one that runs the firm. She believes that she's being looked over for being partner because she would not take part in David's advances of trying to sleep with her, and he's done that. From what we understand, David has done that a lot over the years with a lot of the women inside the company, and Jane has decided that she is not going to take part of it. So she's at the bottom of the stairwell where she's met the girl that is supposed to kill David when the purge starts. So the lady advised that you cannot start the purge. You cannot start their transaction until the purge starts, because if it does happens before, then they're liable to go to jail. So she meets her downstairs, gives her the money. The lady turns around to walk off to go start her purging for the night. And of course, as soon as she turns around, she has to kill somebody. Somebody turns around and rushes the door where Jane is, and then she turns around and kills the person who's at the door that is trying to attack Jane. From there, this show switches very fast between scenes and its characters. So then it switches over to the next character that we meet, main character named Miguel, which Miguel is in town looking for his sister, which sent him a message about her, being something like suicidal or something like that. So Miguel has rushed to the city where she is, and he's trying to find and track her down and figure out where she is. In the first episode, Miguel actually tracks down the person who got his sister out of the mental institution or place that she was at. He hunts them down and he kills them. And then a girl that was there, she advises where his sister Penelope went after she left there. So then what Miguel's riding down the street. He sees someone get shot. Then he sees a man is set on fire, is running around, like people just running around the streets killing each other, doing all type of crazy stuff on this TV show. And then most of us who have watched the Purge know that you die a million different ways during the Purge, and that people are running around in bunny suits with all type of lights on. Their cars are fixed up and all type of stuff during the Purge. So they switch over back to Miguel again, but Miguel pulls up at some medics who are out there trying to help people. And during this time of the purge, people who are medics who are trying to help people cannot be killed. So at this point of the purge, you cannot die if you're a medic and you're trying to save someone's life. And they explain that to Miguel, and one of the guys who is helping being a medic, they want to ask Miguel if he wants to help because he's from the army and he has experience helping people. And the guy advises that, hey, we're not advanced as you are. He says that he's a history teacher. Well, he's a claims adjuster, and the lady that's helping him is a history teacher, and they're out there trying to help people during the purge. Now, what happens is the lady, after Miguel tells them that he's looking for this bus that his sister is on, special bus, the lady advises that, hey, or the guy advises that, hey, he needs to go speak to Pete the cop. And Pete the cop more than likely can pinpoint and find the bus that he's looking for so he can find his sister. And then the lady gives Miguel the password to get into Pete's spot, which Pete's spot is a place where there's no purging. They don't have any purging in that particular building. It is off limits. Then they switch over back to the cult bus, where they're on the bus, they're wilding out, and they get to chanting, "Purify your flesh, prepare my soul, giving is near, the invisible awaits." So they're constantly just chanting that over and over and over again. Shout out to my cult people out there. Y'all are dedicated to getting your cult on, whatever your cult does. There's a lot of different cults out there in the world that are not exactly labeled as cults, but when you have this cult of young kids with mental issues that need mental health guidance, and they've been kind of suckered into riding around on this purge bus, and the people who are doing this, pretty much they get to be safe, and then they just keep dropping people off to people who have obviously paid for these kids to be dropped off so they can go ahead and kill them. But the kids believe that they're going to they're purging themselves, purifying themselves, and getting to go to heaven. So it is crazy. It's crazy, but I could see that happening in real life if we really had the purge. Moving on from that, then it switches to Allison. The next character we meet is Allison. Allison is Jane. Works directly up under Jane, and there's an open position that Jane has to pick between her and I think another person named Mark, and they're both vying for that position. But Jane is not in her office, and Allison goes in there, and she's being nosy going through Jane's things. So she starts looking through papers, and she flips open Jane's laptop, and then she sees something that disturbs her really bad. So she closes the laptop, and then she leaves. Now, her being this nosy, and the thing that she does later on in the episode is going to get her killed. She's going to get purged by when they find out what she did. She's going to die eventually. I'm waiting on that. So then like I said, this TV show, it flips really fast from character to character. Now we flip back to Jane, where she's having a flashback to the first day that she got hired at this firm, and at the first day when she was at her last interview, she had been through a couple of interviews with this company, and this was her final interview with David, and David decides to go ahead and hire her. And man, I tell you, Jane is fire. Jane is fire, and then David was on it. So David, obviously over the years, David has tried multiple times to make advances at Jane, and she wasn't down with it. Then it switches over to the girl on the bus, Melissa, which is one of Penelope's friends that's on the bus. Now, after seeing the first boy that got off the bus and saw how he was killed, now Melissa is very uneasy about this process, and she's getting scared, and she doesn't want to go through with it. So, so then Penelope tries to calm her down a little bit and try to talk to her, talk that mumbo jumbo cult gibberish, trying to get her to calm down and understand that, hey, what we're doing is a good thing, and that you should be fine to go ahead with it. And then magically, guess who's next to die? The lady from the cult bus, she picks Melissa as the next person that's gonna get murked. So then Melissa she starts to wild out. She starts to say she doesn't want to do it. She doesn't want to die. She's fighting it. The lady that leads the bus, she comes over there. She calls for the security guy on the bus to come by and pick Melissa up. He drags Melissa off the bus, throws Melissa on the ground on the bus, and then the guys walk up with golf clubs, and then they end up beating Melissa to death. And Penelope's watching all this in horror as the girl keeps screaming out, Penelope, help me, Penelope, help me. So, oh man, it's just, but like I said, you can see some of this stuff happening in real life. And then now Penelope kind of feels a certain way about, is she making the right decision to be a part of this cult and move forward, with letting someone kill her. So now we move on to the next scene where David is meeting with Jane, and then the intern Anya comes into the office, and then David is hugging up on Anya kind of tight. Then after Anya leaves, David kind of slides down close to Jane on the couch, and wanting to talk to her about being a partner, quote unquote partner. And then she kind of curves him. She curves him quickly, and then says she has some work to do. And you can kind of tell that David kind of didn't like that. That he was trying to play it off, but he was trying to make an advancement. And she curved him kind of quick and got up out of there. And next, it moved over to Miguel. Well, Miguel is driving, trying to get to Pete's spot so he can talk to Pete. And he rides down a street where he gets trapped by this dirty car dealership guy named Otis, who's promoting his car dealership by trapping people and having them run through kind of like a gauntlet that you would see like on Jigsaw or something like that, and they're live streaming it out to the world. And so they start shooting at Miguel and to start running through this course. And so he's getting shot at. He's getting attacked by axes. He's all type of stuff going on. He gets trapped in this corridor at the top of a building that has these saws that keep coming down trying to cut him, and he makes through. We know he's not really gonna die. So he goes through, kills a couple of people, kills a couple of guys. He finished the gauntlet, and for winning the gauntlet, you win a brand new car. So after he finished, he got a brand new car because he was driving a bucket. So then he has his brand new car. So now it switches back over to Jane's office, where she's watching a video of Braca going through killing people on Braca's live feed. And then Allison comes in the office and asks Jane about purging. And she just starts having all these questions about, hey, plenty of people have purge lists. It's okay. This guy took me on a date and then skipped out on me in the middle of the day, and I still see him at work, and I kind of wish I could purge him. And she just advised everyone kind of has a purge list, and she thinks that that Jane should put David on her purge list because she says it's obvious that David is overlooking her for the position as partner with this firm. And then of course Jane plays it off. She's like, no, I wouldn't purge anybody. And then Allison goes into, these days, you can always pay people to purge someone. Of course, like I told you before, Allison went into her office and saw what was on her screen. So obviously there could have been some stuff on her screen of any type of transaction or messages that showed that, hey, that she was going to hire somebody to kill David. So, but during this whole conversation, Allison's being very passive aggressive about purging David. Kind of like she's kind of for going ahead and trying to get David out the way. Because maybe David may have pursued her some type of way. Maybe David was the one that took her on a date and maybe left her out to dry. Because she did say she still sees the guy in the elevator when she's going to work. So now he's switching back over to Melissa. So they switch back over to Melissa, and it's her time to go to the Invisible. And like I said, she did not want to go. She gets dragged outside. She gets beat with golf clubs, and then Penelope just has to hear her scream out, "Hey, hey, hey, Penelope, help me, help me, help me!" And Penelope just stands there and watches. She doesn't do anything. Next, we go back to Miguel, where he pops up at Pete, the cop spot, and is told by Pete that he doesn't care if he is looking for a bus or not. So he goes up into place. He asks for Pete's the cop. Of course, everybody is on edge because it's Purge night. So when he actually comes in looking for somebody and they don't kind of know who he is, they kind of, they're kind of alarmed. They're kind of like, who are you? What do you want? We don't do that stuff here. We're not purging in this building. We're here just having a good time until the purge is over. And then Miguel advises that, that he still would like to speak to Pete. So then the guy advises him, who Pete is and points him out. And then he goes over there and talks to Pete. And of course, Pete tells him that, that he doesn't care that he's looking for any bus, and he walks off. So we don't see where Miguel has a confrontation with Pete. It kind of ends where Miguel is just standing there. From there, it pops over to where we're back to the mystery guy. The mystery guy is driving down the street. He's looking on his GPS. He finds a house. He finds the house that he's looking for. He pulls on his GPS. He pulls up a face of a woman. And I guess that's the person that is on his kill list that he's supposed to go and kill. So he pulls up her face. He looks through the neighborhood. He sees where there's two guys breaking into someone's house. Obviously, they're going to rob someone. And he just steady goes along with the day. He packs up his stuff, gets his guns, hops out the van, hops out the truck, and starts heading towards the house of the person he's supposed to kill. So that at that point, the screen flips upside down, and then we get to the end of the episode. I like this series. This series is really good. I love the Purge. I everything about the Purge. I'm down for all the gruesome killing, the backstabbing, all that type of stuff. Where you have to watch how you treat people, because you can treat people bad for 364 and a half days. But then you have that 12-hour period where if you've been treating people bad or you've been treating someone other way, you have to watch your back. So this episode is great. I'm going to keep reviewing it. If you would like, you can comment and subscribe below. I also will be doing other reviews, as for sports reviews. I'm going to be doing boxing. I'm going to be doing high school sports. I'm going to be doing a whole lot of different stuff. No, just doing stuff. It's not just for some fun. So, like I said, this is a great TV show. If you are just looking through reviews to see if you want to start watching it, I advise you should. It's not as fast as the Purge movies where it's just kill. Nah, that's not it. We're the stages now in the show where we are kind of build the characters up, where we're trying to learn their story. And again, this particular season is 10 episodes. We're at episode 2. I'm pretty sure here in the next couple of episodes, things are going to speed up, where we're going to, get more into, some more action. But like I said, great show. I enjoy it. This is Maine reviewing the Purge TV show. Like I said, comment, subscribe down below. And alright.